Welcome to Yin Yoga. My name is Kristi Cruise. This is a space to let go of the day, of the week, of the month, to allow ourselves to go inward, to process and release. So find a comfortable spot on your mat where you can be still. Settling into the bones, feeling all the connection points between your body and the floor. Softly closing the eyes. And with the eyes closed, use your other senses to notice everything around you. See if you can hear any noises outside of the room that you're in. Moving even more deeply internally as you feel within your own body. Bring your attention to your feet, your shins. Bring your attention to your knees, thighs. Bring your attention to both legs. Bring your attention to your pelvis, your hips, your glutes, your waist, your torso, your shoulders, your hands, your forearms, your upper arms. Bring your attention to your entire trunk. Bring your attention to your neck and chin, jaw, to your nose and ears and eyes. And the point in between the two eyes over the top of your nose, known as the third eye. Bring your attention to the forehead and that point in the center of the skull. Bring your attention to the crown of your head and your whole head all at once. Now bring your attention to your whole body, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Now bring your attention to your heart center. And begin to breathe into the center of your chest. Breathing slowly. Allowing your body to more deeply relax with each and every breath. And as we move through the class and through the shapes, remember this breath and this feeling of sensual awareness and groundedness to the earth. Allowing a wave of relaxation to move over your entire body. As you inhale fresh, new energy, new prana. And you exhale everything that no longer serves you. Taking a big, deep breath, fill up the belly, fill up the lungs, clavicles rise, hold the breath, and release by gushing it out the mouth. Sigh. Another big, deep breath. See if you can make this breath even deeper, even bigger. Hold, hold, and sigh it out. Once again, a big, deep, full body breath. Hold, 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 and sigh it out. Letting go of the day, the week, the month. Letting go of any cares or concerns. They are not yours to worry about anymore. They will be there when the time is right and when you can actually do something about them. And until then, we release them. From our lying down position, we'll bring our legs in and squeeze ourselves into a teeny tiny ball. Feel that nose move toward the knees. And relax the torso. And then squeeze up once again into a teeny tiny ball. Stretch at the back of the neck. A little bit higher. A little bit higher. And release. Relax the torso. One more great big squeeze, hugging in the knees. And then begin to roll back from side to side on the back of the hips, massaging the back of the hips. Letting your breath become natural. And then taking a hold of those feet and pulling back for happy baby. You can stay here, or you can straighten the feet for a forward fold. Straighten the legs. And before we get into our yin postures, I do want to take a moment to do Sarvangasana, which is the king of all asanas, shoulder stand. So a couple of options. You can simply do legs straight up, or you can put your hands alongside you and use the momentum of the legs to swing back into plow pose. From here, you'll hold onto the back, and slowly your legs go up. This pose has so many nurturing benefits. So good for your entire body, your thyroid, your glands, circulation. Feeling the rush of blood move from the toes downward, downward. Breathing here. And to come out of the pose, we'll go back all the way over into our plow pose. Feet overhead, maybe touching behind you. Arms come down, and then very, very, very slowly, we'll use pressure against the mat to come down inch by inch. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Until we find that we are back where we started, with our legs straight up. And 1 degree at a time, the legs go down, 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 slowly, slowly, slowly. Until we find ourselves in a Savasana position. Pausing here for a moment to feel the effects of the Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. So bringing our knees up, bending the knees, and allowing those big toes to touch. And then the knees come out into butterfly pose as the soles of the feet come together, and you can rest your hands on your thighs just to gently remind yourself that it's okay to open here. Notice naturally the internal sensations that are very subtle within the pelvic bowl, where the thighs go into the hip sockets. Breath is becoming very slow, very natural, and very enjoyable to notice and partake in. You can feel that breath running all the way up the back of your spine. And then as you exhale, all the way down the front of the spine. Make sure that all of your muscles are loose. We're not clenching or tightening any part of the body right now. Relax the legs. Slowly we'll bring the knees back together. Pausing here. And then as we did before, we'll hug the knees into our chest and rock gently from side to side. Ushering in any movement that feels right. So feet come back down to the mat. Knees are still bent. We're going to straighten the right leg all the way out. Keep the left leg bent. We're going to put our right hand on our left thigh, and we're going to bring it all the way over to the floor. So this is a deep twist. Then we can add the arm. By bringing the left arm out, it's likely that it will not touch the floor. That is good. That means you're adding a shoulder and chest opener here. So feel the armpit stretching, the pec stretching. Feel the twist in the spine like a corkscrew from the tailbone to the top of the head. As we look over the left shoulder with our eyes closed. And breathe. Think about all the stress of the last week building up in our shoulders, making them tight. Now here we are, unwinding and releasing every single bit of it. Becoming very still. Welcome the discomfort. On the other side of discomfort is true transformation. Arm comes back up and rests on the hip. And slowly our knees will come back up. Bending the knees. And rest here. Noticing the sensation in the backs of the hip. The shoulder. And the spine. Left leg comes all the way down straight. We'll take our left hand and place it on the outer side of the right thigh and gently move that right thigh all the way over until it touches the ground. And then rainbowing our right arm all the way over back behind us, knowing that it probably will not touch the ground. Noticing the difference between the two sides. Gazing with closed eyes over the right hand. Twisting out the spine like a wet washcloth. Listening to the silence. Slowly we begin to untwist. Knees are bent. Feet are on the edge of the mat. The knees come together to make a little tent, a little teepee. Pause here. Walk those feet together. And then push the hips up for a bridge. You are welcome to go into wheel here if it feels right. And then once you're done with your bridge, taking all the time that you need, slowly, slowly, slowly lower down. And take a happy baby or a hug of the knees and a rock side to side. Feet come down. We'll turn onto our left side. And we can either come up where our elbow is directly underneath our shoulder, feeling a nice side bend here, or take it a step further up to deepen the stretch of the left side body. For our legs, we can keep them stacked or we can bring the front one over. Close the eyes. This is a side bend. We're seated. Right hand comes around. We'll prop ourselves up. All the way up. And from here, we can forward fold from the hips. Our knees can be slightly bent here or straight. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. See if you can get just a little bit deeper this time. Noticing the sensations within the body. Inhale, come all the way up. So two choices. You can either roll onto your right side so you won't be facing me anymore. For me, I'm going to turn all the way around so that you can see me. So coming onto the right side, into our side bend again. So this variation, bring it higher. Legs can be stacked or move the top one forward for stability. So C curve. Closing your eyes here. Finding comfort in the fact that we are here together for another week, which means we are 1 week closer to eventually being back together in person, back to our lives and our things that we miss so dearly. We're not getting farther away, we're only getting closer. Breathing into that deep stretch on the side body. Slowly coming down onto the mat into Advasana position, which is Savasana on your abdomen. And lay the cheek to one side. Arms come back. Rest here. And from here, our legs come up. And we can windshield wiper them back and forth from side to side. Releasing the hips. Releasing the spine. And you can continue with this windshield wiping. Or if you'd like, you can take bow by taking hold of your feet and pushing up into a bow shape. Feeling the squeeze. And coming down. Keep hold of your feet if you're in bow. We're going to do one more in a moment. And coming back into another bow. See if you can make it just a little bit higher this time. Kicking into your feet, trying to keep those heels together. They're not splitting out too far. And come all the way down. Bringing the cheek to the opposite side. Rest here. Moving into our Sphinx or seal. Deep lower back bend. Making sure that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. And that your elbows are shoulder width apart. Taking it up to seal if it suits you. Same back bend. And seal, your elbows are locked out. And your muscles are relaxed for true yin. Arms are serving as kickstands to support the back bend. Noticing your breath. And feeling your whole body. Finding that edge and softening around it. And from here, we'll move all the way back into child's pose. So knees can be width of the mat or narrow, your choice. Come back to sit on the heels and bring the hands all the way overhead as you bring your forehead toward the mat. Feeling the backs of the hips peeling apart. Releasing the unprocessed emotion. Releasing the physical tension that we store as we push things down, down, down. Releasing any guilt, any shame, any worry. Releasing any grief, any fear, any stress. So you may continue in this child's pose. If you want something that's just a little bit deeper, tuck the toes under and walk up with your hands, knees come far apart, and tuck yourself into a little ball. So this is the same pose on the hips, but you're below the plane. You're below the floor, if you will. It also gives you an extra ankle stretch and calf stretch. Same hip opener. Breathing here. And just noticing what comes up, allowing it to be. What I'm feeling right now is just a deep sense of gratitude for carving out this time to be together, to take care of our bodies and our minds. Just goes to show how much we need each other and that we're not alone and we don't need to be alone. So if you're in that deeper shape, allow the knees to come back down and move back to your child's pose so we can all be there together. Feel the hips, the pelvic bowl, the release of trapped energy. Allow it to float out the back of the hips, up into the sky. Back up slowly into a tabletop position. Holding at the top of your table here, still and steady. Then on an exhale, we'll make a big round cat shape. As we inhale fully, we'll drop that belly to the ground for our cow. Exhale into our big round cat shape. And back to our cow. So continue here with cats and cows at your own pace. With each one, feeling the release. And only if it's something that feels really right to you, you can take a downward dog. Otherwise, continue with the cats and cows. Moving back to our table. Right hand comes all the way up as we look high to the sky. And then we'll thread that right hand through. Threading the needle, left arm comes overhead, feeling that stretch in the armpit. Hips are above the knees, not above the ankles as in child's pose. They're above the knees. Surrendering to the pose. Feeling your whole body. Slowly we come back up to our table, pausing here at the top of our table. Feeling those delicious stretched out parts in our back. And then here we can take some deep hip circles. And reverse. And again, only if it feels good to you, and downward dog. Back to our tabletop position. Left arm comes all the way up. Look and thread the needle through. Right arm comes up overhead. Surrender here. Becoming very, very still as you let the shape do the work. There's nothing you need to do here. Just be. Just feel. Feel your whole body. Slowly coming back up into our tabletop. And here, take any movement that you need. So deep hip circles, cats and cows. Stretching out one leg and then the other. Feel your body and take it there. Adjusting back to your table. We'll move into pigeon or figure four on the right side. So for pigeon, bringing your knee up to the top of the mat. And then you can kind of manually scooch your foot out so that your shin is parallel or near parallel to the top of the mat. And from here, you can come down to your forearms or perhaps all the way down into sleeping swan. Figure 4 is the same position, just on your back. So crossing the right ankle over the left thigh, and then pulling up that left leg, feeling that hip opening, back of the thigh opening. So if you're in pigeon pose, you can stay here, or you can reach back for that back leg. Extra stretch in the quad. Releasing the leg and coming up. We'll pause in a child's pose. Coming back up to a table. So from here, we'll deeply bend the left elbow while the right arm stays straight. You should feel this in the right side of your neck. If you bend your ear toward your left shoulder. And then we'll switch. So we'll straighten the left elbow, bend the right, and then tilt that ear toward the right shoulder. You can do this at your own pace. Opening up the sides of the neck, the shoulders. This will either feel really good because your shoulders and neck are tight, or you won't feel anything at all. And if that's the case, you're lucky. That means you don't carry your tension in your neck and shoulders. We're all built differently. Back to our tabletop. And we'll move into that pigeon or sleeping swan or figure 4 on the other side. So left foot comes up. We'll move that shin parallel to the top of the mat. And we'll come forward if we wish. Onto our forearms or all the way down into full sleeping swan. Feeling that left glute just peel apart in such a delightful way, releasing all the tension in the lower back, the glute and thigh. Then you can stay where you are, or you can grab by bending the back leg. Back leg comes down. See if you can settle more deeply into that sleeping swan or pigeon pose. Figure four. Slowly we'll use our forearms to come up. Bring that right leg around in front. Bend the knees. Grab onto the shins and hold here as we pause. Nice C curve in the spine. When we're ready, we can come all the way back into our Savasana shape. Before we move into our corpse pose, let's take a moment to finish off the practice, asking our body what it needs. Maybe another happy baby, a twist, shoulder stand. All is available to you now. See if you can notice your cells saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Slowly begin to shift into your final rest, your Savasana, your corpse shape. Finding a place of stillness and silence where you can be perfectly that for the next several minutes. I love to talk about corpse pose because it's not about the death, it's about the rebirth, it's about what happens when we begin to emerge from our corpse. But if we never die, we can never be reborn. If we never take stillness, we can never reset with new movement. So in this time that we're living through currently, it is very much, in a sense, a corpse pose. It's a stillness, it's a reset, it's a death to the present moment and the present time. And I know there's a lot of fear and a lot of unknowing about what that reemergence will look like. But choose to believe in good. Choose to be a part of that good. Choose to allow your light to shine every day. Choose to be a part of the solution. Choose to let go of the owers and move with the flow of life, of this changing life that we're all living individually and collectively. Choose to take this time to reset mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. So individually, we can be reborn. So collectively, we can be reborn. Choose faith over fear. Choose light over darkness. Bringing all of your attention to your heart center. Just breathe in love and send it to every cell of your body. And then ask yourself what you can do to make this rebirth the best that it could be. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And as you begin to emerge from your savasana, know that you are new, that you are different from when you came here just an hour ago. And that you are restored and you have everything that you need to shine brighter, to care more deeply, and to bring your best self to your tomorrow. And all you need to do is remember this feeling right here and right now, and know that it is always with you, deep within your every cell. Together we bring our hands to heart center, and gratefully we bow and say to each other, Namaste. Thank you for joining me for Yin Yoga. My name is Kristi, and thank you to Ralph for allowing us to use a Zoom so that we can have this hour class. That was really wonderful. I'm really grateful to you. Next week, if you join, announcement, make sure that there's a wall about 5 or 6 feet. You might need to move some furniture. We're going to do some really cool wall work, and you're going to really enjoy it. So I'm going to stop the recording now, and I'd love to talk to any of you guys that are still around. Thanks again for being here.